This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol, live. It's a freaking Friday. The Breed Creed says, uh-oh, it's Friday. You know what that means. I assume he's referring to the fact that I always have my party lights on a Friday. Or perhaps he is referring to the notion of smoke 'em if you got 'em. And if so, I would have to pack a bowl in order to partake upon that notion. Guys, I just don't know what we're gonna do with these motherfucking right-wingers. I had the dude call into the show on Tuesday, the child rapist. He thinks man, Scrappy, I understand how these motherfuckers got thrown in the gulag back in the day. Because the dude comes on the show for 2 hours, I just hand him his ass. It was the same way with old Gord back in the fall. You want to be democratic about it. You want to be humane. You don't want to be like them. They're the ones like, you gotta throw the liberals from the helicopter. Ha ha ha. Serious child rapist. He was arrested for child rape. Rape of a minor. It was a teenager. It wasn't like a 9-year-old. I will be diplomatic. It was like a 16-year-old. But also it wasn't like he was 20 and she was 16. No, he was 28 or 29 and she was 16. For those of you who are just joining us that might not know what I'm talking about, I had a run-in with a guy, a right-winger called into the show the other night, argued with me for well over an hour. Producer Dave will vouch for me. He was incredibly stupid. I saw him call Joe Biden a pedo. Call him Pedo Joe. Hold on, you want to know his name, you say? I've got the receipts from our conversation. So after he calls into the show, I ran into him on a thread. Disappears like, yeah. By the way, someone informed me of what you were arrested for, because on the show I had asked him if he had been arrested before, because I wanted to make a point about conditions inside of jails. I openly talked about my couple of arrests because I wanted to make a point that it's torture and we're doing this to innocent children at the border. We were having a discussion about immigration policy. And I asked him if he'd ever been arrested. And he's like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. The reason he doesn't want to talk about it was because he was arrested for child rape. Or rape of a minor. Here's the news report on him. John Matthew Branham, 28, of Grand Central Boulevard, indicted earlier this month in connection to a case involving a Somerset woman who allowed her minor daughters, it was 2, allowed her daughters to have relationships with 2 men. No, this is from my neck of the woods. Apparently, I've met this guy before and I didn't know it because he's a professional wrestler. One of my best friends is a professional wrestler. Apparently, he wrestled this guy. He's not my neighbor. No. But he is a hardcore right-winger. And he made a big deal. Like he was shaming a homeless person who had a sign out by the road. He's one of those kind of guys. So he goes over and They were asking about it. I wasn't going to get into it. I'm sorry, Whitney. We've got a jam-packed show. Please stick around. We're going to talk about Chuck Schumer and erections. AOC reveals the real reason why she did not attend the inauguration. Texas becomes the first state to sue the Biden administration. We're going to take a tour of the new White House. Plus, we're going to hear from Bernie about what he thinks about the meme craze. Freudian slip, you think? I don't, like, Chuck Schumer is pretty fucking old. He's like 60-something. I assume that he's not having erections that often. The dude does indeed deserve ample shaming. And but that's the thing, that's what I was going off on, was he thinks he won. You enjoy myself. I've went round in circles with him and shown him to be a moron. He thinks he won. Really? Because, like, you know, I'm getting up there in my late 30s. Erections aren't the only thing on my mind right now. Liberals are pretty fucking stupid. But back to the original point. Smoke them if you've got them. Because it is a Friday night. I don't know about you guys, but I woke up this morning and there was one story that was just plastered all over social media. And it was about the National Guard being kicked out of the Capitol. National Guardsmen told to leave U.S. Capitol slept in parking garage.
Likely speaking out tonight after thousands of National Guardsmen in D.C. were forced to leave the congressional grounds. Capitol Police told the Guardsmen they would have to take their breaks, often lasting hours in nearby parking garages with no heat and 2 porta potties at their disposal. Lee says he's very upset at the news and assures that he has contacted the Utah branch to make sure they are taken care of. In the last hour, the Capitol Police have answered calls by congressional leaders and allowed service members back inside the Capitol building.
So I know it was the Capitol Police that told them, and there's another. These people are trained to sleep in a ditch. How is the fucking like floor of the Capitol building different than the heat? Yes, indeed. I'm sure they had like. Well, they didn't in the picture. Like, didn't they have tents they could set up? But I don't know why the Capitol Police told them not to be in the Capitol. I don't know where that order came from. It's really seeming like they're trying to make Democrats look bad. We know that the Capitol Police seem to be somewhat complicit in the attack on the Capitol, which we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. No. I would love to meet. You enjoy myself. I would love to meet smart conservatives that weren't playing, because like I'm in the media business. I meet a lot of smart conservatives, but they're playing a game and they hate me because I'm not playing a game with them. When I go on the air and I give my opinion, I'm not inside their little bounds where, you know, you don't want to piss off advertisers. You want to make management happy and shit, and they're putting on a face. Tucker Carlson is putting on a face on TV. He doesn't actually believe the shit that he says. So I do meet smart conservatives, but the people that consume the propaganda, the average Republican voter, no, is not very bright. Matter of fact, I would go as far as to say that they are fucking morons. That's what I'm thinking, that the Capitol Police may very well be fucking with the Guardsmen. Capitol Police told the Guardsmen they would have to take their breaks. All right, that was in the story. Mike Lee upset. This just seems like it's all show. I tell you what, why don't you hop in the Discord or give us a call, 917-830-4359. Show us how intelligent you are. And I will rip that bong again. I would have to pack it again in order to rip it again. Just saying. I've got my Jesus bandana on tonight. The phone lines are open. Give me your socks. Socks is the name of my cat. Before Thursday morning, several areas throughout the Capitol complex were designated as authorized rest areas where soldiers could take breaks from their shifts. Those areas were cleared out by Thursday morning, according to CNN. Before Thursday morning. Yeah, maybe I am a little stoned. By Thursday night, the Capitol Police had answered many calls from congressional leaders and allowed the service members back inside the building. Our new First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, made a trip out to see the guardsmen. So we've got some video.
I just wanted to come today to say thank you to all of you for keeping me and my family safe. And I know that you've left your home states. The Bidens are a National Guard family. Our son Bo was Delaware Army National Guard.
I relish calling her a doctor,
2009.
trying to make heads explode.
So I'm a National Guard mom, and when I saw, the great job.
Well, also, just spending any amount of time in academia, anybody who has achieved a PhD, you're going to call them a doctor out of respect. Take your Cartesian plane and shove it up your ass. Now, one of the disheartening things about the guard story was the fact that we found out more than 150 National Guard have tested positive for coronavirus. The official, speaking on condition of anonymity, said the number of National Guard troops who tested positive could rise, but was still a small fraction of the more than 25,000 troops deployed to the city in the last few days. Ninja is up. So that is worrying that many troops have already tested positive. Because we're only a couple of days out, so what's that number going to look? Yeah, it's relatively small right now, but that means that they were positive at the inauguration was just a couple of days ago. But I guess they've been rotating in and out over the last 2 weeks since the insurrection happened. An insurrection that people are still saying you're not violent. Some dumb fuck right-winger on my page saying it earlier today. It wasn't violent. It wasn't an insurrection. You would know it if it was an insurrection. No, sir. It was an insurrection by the dumbest fucks walking the planet. Oh, Scrappy, we're going to get to that. We're coming up on it. A government watchdog group is asking the House Office of Congressional Ethics to investigate GOP reps Andy Biggs, Madison Cawthorn, and Paul Gosar over their involvement with the January 6th riot. The complaint from the liberal watchdog group Campaign for Accountability, that's why I shouldn't be taking bong rips. The Campaign for Accountability accuses the House Republicans of inciting the riot as part of a seditious conspiracy to use force to prevent Congress from carrying out its constitutional and statutory duties to count the votes of the Electoral College. Make sure to cuss a lot? Okay. I don't know if tone does not come across in text, so I don't know if you're saying like it. But obviously, you know what you're getting into with this show. They sent a super spreader battalion of white supremacist super soldiers to DC. God help us all. That's actually really funny, dude. Thank you. That cracked me up. The group is also asking the House Ethics Office to recommend the congressman be expelled from the House if it's found that they violated federal law. Seems fucking obvious to me. I don't know what that is. Is that some sort of Nazi symbol or some shit? Because you can get that out of here. So, on top of the actual congressional Republicans that might have been in on it, we've got at least 20 state and local lawmakers or officials who were at the DC rally. The GOP is ate up with this shit. Huffington Post has it at 21 state and local Republican officials attended the January 6th. I assume there could be more identified. And probably more that we don't know about. Many of whom are now under pressure to resign. Good. They traveled from 16 different states, arriving for the Stop the Steal demonstration, where they watched President Donald Trump tell incendiary lies about having been robbed of re-election. Oh, stay tuned. There is a fake letter going around purporting to be the letter that Trump left for Joe Biden. I've got a couple different ones. They're pretty funny. 20 lawmakers participated in the erection. Oh, did I say erection?
There will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the insurrection against the United States.
Oh, he knew! He knew immediately! I fucked up bad. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is my first time watching this.
No mistake. There will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the insurrection against the United States.
Now, see, Chuck, you shouldn't have took bong rips before you walked out onto the floor of the Senate. That's what happens. We get choked up and we can't talk. You guys want to hear it one more time?
Mistake. There will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide.
Hey. Chuck Schumer has never incited an erection in his fucking life. Look at that man. Never incited an erection ever in his life.
Decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the insurrection against the United States.
Oh, he knew that was going to be all over the internet. It was Trump's erection that was incited. Apparently, Trump had an erection as he was watching the insurrection. I'm sure that Trump does not have an erection today because two things happened today. First of all, it's his anniversary. He and Melania have been married for 16 years. And on his anniversary, a judge handed down a ruling saying that Treasury must give Trump 72 hours before releasing his tax info to Democrats. A half chub at best. So, It requires the Treasury Department, which is now in the hands of Democrats, which is free to release Trump's tax information to the House committees that have requested it multiple times. So we're probably going to finally see Trump's tax returns. They're going to require Donald Trump's lawyers be given 72 hours notice before providing Trump's tax returns to House Democrats. I don't understand the need for 72 hours notice. A judge in federal district court in Washington, D.C., appointed by Trump, directed the Treasury Department and IRS to provide Trump's personal lawyers with a 3-day notice before providing his tax returns. The order lasts until February the 5th. The hearing had been requested by Trump's lawyers in order to get clarity on how House Democrats' lawsuit over their tax return request was going to proceed under the new administration. Trump's lawyers expressed concerns that the Biden administration could provide House Democrats with Trump's tax returns without giving them advance notice and a chance to have their claims heard. Okay, so I see what they're saying. They want a chance to challenge handing over the returns. So they're going to try to delay it. They're going to try to keep it in court as long as possible. But as I said, that's pretty shitty news to get on your 16th wedding anniversary. A look back at their lavish wedding. That's National Guard's troop. That's not, oh, there we go. There's Melania. Katie Couric, Barbara Walters, Regis Philbin, Katie Lee Gifford. It's a who's who of network television. Billy Joel played for Trump at his wedding, eh? Happy anniversary, scumbag. I saw this piece. I thought it would be kind of interesting to go over. Writing in the Atlantic, Peter Nicholas details what it was like to watch Trump leave the White House. Do you guys think he's divorced before the end of the year? Oh man, be brave. I live in Alabama. I wear my right wingers or morons shirt out everywhere. My friend didn't want me to wear right wingers or morons to the polls on election day because she was afraid of what might happen to me in Alabama wearing that shirt. I wore fuck Nazis instead. So we'll kind of skim over this. Only the hooks remained on the walls, ready for a new set of portraits of the 46th. Alone Donald Trump, press deputy. Judd Deere sat in his small office, writing a note on a piece of stationery to whomever would be taking over his desk in a few hours. Trump also left a letter for his successor, perhaps the only traditional gesture he's made in what has been an utterly graceless departure. Graceless departure is absolutely true. Let's take a look at some of the phony letters that have been going around the internet. So this was from factcheck.org. I hadn't seen this one. It isn't that clever. Joe, you know I won. Here is one Curiouser sent me earlier. It looks, the handwriting is too fancy to be Donald Trump, I do believe. I won the election, Bigley, and you lost. You are a cheater, and I hate you. It usually takes 3 flushes in the Oval Office toilet. Those are some of the possible outcomes of a Trump letter. You think that is the real article? It would not surprise me. Trump left the White House with his wife Melania at about 8:20 a.m., refusing to take questions from the press. Walked onto Marine One with an ominous send-off. We'll see each other again. Yeah, at the Air Force Base, we watched that clip of it. He said he'll be back in some form. Like what? This isn't Donald Trump's final form? Jesus. I fucking, like, Biden doesn't need, what? Gonna need it for the gigantic screw up that Trump left him? Just like flips up. And then like it wafts in the air like it's a cape in the breeze. Like oh, Jesus. Makes mention of their Twitter accounts. I don't know if I can take any more of this bombastic journalism here. Well, let's take a trip inside the new Oval Office where Trump
Tonight,
left.
a new look for the world's most iconic
that letter.
office. The Oval remains unchanged, but what's inside reflects the priorities of a new president. Joe Biden surrounding himself with a lineup of great American heroes.
Just lets out a big short. Ah! Ah! It ends with a whimper, just like his presidency.
A massive portrait of FDR, who steered the country through times of crisis. Benjamin Franklin to emphasize President Biden's focus on following science. And paired together in the room where it happened, fierce rivals Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson. A reminder in a democracy of the...
Now, I am convinced that if Benjamin Franklin were here today, like reanimated, or if he was still alive, some sort of fucking vampire thing or something, Republicans would call him a libtard, hands down. They would hate Benjamin Franklin. Absolute idiot. Absolute fucking idiot. Where's my...
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
But Trump wasn't just an idiot in 2020. He's been an idiot. Where have you been? Trump has always been an idiot. He was portrayed as a complete and total moron all throughout the 80s and 90s. Jesus. I don't think Benjamin Franklin owned slaves, did he? Or he had one and he set her free or some shit. I read his biography, but it's been a while, and also like it was a lot of lies. Yeah, well, I mean, he liked to fuck hookers, and he's kind of a wild child.
Value of differing views. Deputy Director of Oval Office Operations Ashley Williams is our guide.
Welcome to President Biden's Oval Office.
For a president, these symbols set a tone about who inspires them and who they hope to inspire. civil rights icons MLK and Rosa Parks, and holding a new place of distinction at President Biden's back, Latino labor leader Cesar Chavez.
What message is
Yeah, there's a really weird bus that Trump had.
It's about the American people, about the diversity of experience, the resilience, and the possibilities of the
like
nation's
Winston
future.
Churchill.
Items identified with President Trump now gone, the portrait of former President Andrew Jackson, and flags from the branches of the military. That dark blue rug making its return from the Clinton years, and staying put, anchoring it all, the resolute desk, where President Biden will be framed by personal touches, photos of his family.
I still think it's a shame we don't have a president that has a fucking computer on their desk.
Peter Alexander, NBC News, inside the Oval Office.
I think that's a fucking indictment on the dinosaurs that run this country. Clinton's rug. You guys know that Monica Lewinsky is cool as shit, right? Fantastic follow on Twitter. But Biden has only been in that office 2.5 days, already being sued by the state of Texas. I don't even know what the fuck for yet. Ken Paxton, who has been indicted for fraud, I never missed the opportunity to bring this up. Ken Paxton, who's been indicted for fraud, announced Friday that he's suing the Biden administration over its plan to freeze most deportations for the next 100 days. An early signal some conservative state officials plan on fighting in courtrooms to halt Biden's agenda. Of course. That is a positive thing that Joe Biden has done. We talked about a couple of different positive things last night. Here's another one. Today, signed executive order to boost federal minimum wage. Biden is also putting food on the table, money in the pockets of those struggling most. The executive order will push states to increase food stamp programs for 29 million hungry Americans. Streamline delivery of stimulus checks, which we're going to talk about here in just a second, and push to increase the minimum wage for federal employees and contractors to $15 an hour. So, kudos. Well, she was a young girl that fucking blew the president. And clearly, follow her on Twitter. Her mouth is what's fucking wonderful about her. She's sassy as fuck. Love it. Biden lifted the Muslim ban. I think we still have travel bans in effect for countries over coronavirus. So, okay, reading about Hillary Clinton, I've read that Hillary was in small groups, at dinner parties and shit, is incredibly funny, witty, quick-witted like that, but in front of big crowds, she just bombed. She never put on a good performance, but also she had a hell of a lot of pressure. Yeah, she doesn't take long bong rips like me and Chuck Schumer. Oh, cool. You saw a video on YouTube of Biden touching children inappropriately. You should send that to the FBI. She's on those adrenochrome hits. Oh, shit. I'm not stoned enough for this shit. But so far, Biden has done some pretty cool things in his first few days in office. Some members of the House are trying to push him to go even further. More than 35 members of Congress signed a letter asking Biden to commute the sentences of the remaining 50 people on federal death row. This comes after Trump went on an execution spree. I think they executed like 17 people between the election and it might have been 11. I don't know. Yes, he was trying to bring back firing squads. There's a problem with getting the drugs to be able to administer lethal injection. That was one of they wanted to bring back the firing squad. Now, I'm against the death penalty for a lot of reasons. I didn't used to be, and the reason why I'm against the death penalty is because I found out the statistic that well over 90% of the people on death row could not afford an attorney. So it's only something that is carried out against poor people. And for that reason alone, I switched my stance on the death penalty. If we were to put some firing squads, exactly, Curiouser, if anybody's going to be put in front of a fucking firing squad, it should be Trump. It should be the bankers that have ran this country into the ground. It should be fucking Mitch McConnell. It's weird when they come in here like, yeah, I want you to watch this Biden sniffing video. What? I have been, we have a call. Caller, you're on the Troll Patrol. What's going on?
Yo, what's good, my guy? I don't think Biden has done cool things. I mean, he kind of canceled the Keystone Pipeline, which cost 11,000 jobs.
It did not cost 11,000 jobs. You just pulled that out of your ass. It's only like 35 permanent jobs.
No, but if you look it up, 10,000 people, well, 10,000 Americans and 1,000 Canadians are out of work now.
To construct it, right? But it was like 35 permanent jobs. It's also it's leaked multiple times. It's
still getting paid.
It's went through sacred land. Well, I mean, that's not exactly people can get paid other ways.
Yeah, sure, they could get paid other ways, but I mean, dude, it's their
also,
job.
do you know what kind of crude? Do you know what kind of crude the Keystone Pipeline transported?
No, I don't. I know it was oil. Oil isn't necessary.
But it wasn't. It was shale oil. It was oil mixed with dirt that costs like 30% more to refine. It's an incredibly expensive, incredibly dirty pipeline.
Also, he's moving.
Do you think it's okay to do you think it's okay to put a pipeline through native lands?
No, it's not moral, sure.
And Scrappy makes a really good point. Those jobs can be construction jobs shifted to infrastructure repair. Our bridges are fucking dilapidated. We have like 100 of them that are in like severe disrepair.
But also on the topic of COVID, he has allowed how many dead in 2 days? I know yesterday it was 3,100. So if you multiply that by 365, then that's over 1 million a year.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so yesterday, 3,100 Americans died of the COVID-19 pandemic, right? So if you multiply 3,100 by 365, you get over 1 million dead, not including Trump's 400,000. So we're setting death records under the Biden administration.
Oh yeah. I agree. That's worrisome, isn't it? It would have been nice that if Trump had worked with him the last couple of months, shut him completely out of the transition. They didn't have a plan either. You know, Alex Azar resigned.
Yeah, but
over the fact that he did not. There was no fucking plan. So why Biden has had access for what, 2.5 days now?
Yeah, Biden said in the debates he had a plan to handle COVID. I don't think getting a Pentagon briefing should not affect your COVID.
It wasn't just the Pentagon. He had no access to the COVID task force.
But why should that matter? If you're Joe Biden, you have your team of scientists all around you. You have your cabinet picks. You know Fauci's going to be there. So I don't get why Biden can't.
And Fauci, do you know what Fauci said? I believe it was yesterday.
I know. Fauci said, what's he say? I feel like it's a breath of fresh air.
Yes. That's the press conference.
Yeah.
So if he's the expert and he's telling you that the Biden administration is better, then why wouldn't you listen to him?
But is it fair to judge someone off of one day? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's Biden's
Then why are you
fault
doing it?
that 3,100 people died yesterday. I don't think it's Trump's fault that 400,000 people died over the course of a year of a deadly pandemic either. You can't control people. He isn't Jesus.
No, like the Trump administration actively did a bad job of handling the pandemic. There were multiple times that it would have been better if they just done nothing at all than what they actually did.
Okay, so then what was bad about it? Was it getting the test for like the first month? Because I would 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, that was one of the things. So they brought in a bunch of like temp workers to try to organize getting the funding for the vaccine. They thought they were coming in to like supplement, to like get coffee and take notes and do all that shit. No. It was their job to do everything. The Trump administration had no officials that had experience doing it. There was one that quit and wrote a whole expose. Have you read it?
No, I haven't. But do you?
Well, then I would suggest that you start there.
No, do you expect people to be handling a pandemic when a major pandemic has not happened in the last 100 years? You can.
That's not true, though.
The Spanish flu.
No. The reason why you were sitting here and thinking that a major pandemic hadn't happened in the last 100 years is because that we've had a federal government that did their jobs. You weren't aware of Ebola. You weren't aware of the Zika virus.
In like 2014.
Swine flu.
Not a pandemic. The swine flu was
because the government did their jobs, because we had a competent CDC in place. That's why, like, we didn't have to lock down because of it.
Realize COVID is more contagious and deadly. Well, maybe not Ebola. Ebola is more deadly, but COVID's way more
You'll shit your guts out, kid.
COVID's way more contagious than...
Especially now that we have a couple of mutant strains. Okay, so at least you don't deny science. So I don't understand why you want to. I don't know why you want to suckle on Trump balls.
No, I'm not sucking on Trump's balls. No, that is not my point. My point is, can you really blame him? Do you think there should be a mask mandate for the whole country?
Well, you can't legally do that. All you can do is what Biden has done. That's been a mask mandate on federal property and traveling.
Okay, that I can agree with because the government actually owns that property. But
yeah. Legally, that's all he could do. It was on a state and local level that you would have had to have done that. But in order for the states to be able to issue, more restrictions, they needed the federal government to back them up. So one of the things that Trump did was without the federal government support, giving us checks to stay home, local governments needed to lock down, but we're putting they didn't have the funds to pay people to stay home. That's a federal government issue. But they're the ones that have the power to lock things down.
Why do we need a second one? If lockdowns are effective, why do we need a second one? And why is Sweden far better than us when it goes to COVID?
That's not true.
And they didn't lock down.
That's not true.
It is true. Less cases, less death. And they're
but that's because of population. No, but like you adjust for
now, and we're on the up curve here. Also, Britain.
No. Look, all of Europe is locking down again, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. I think you're operating on some old information.
Okay.
Exactly. Just like Ninja said, I was getting ready to say, Sweden has said they fucked up. They have come out and said it. Yes, we never had a lockdown. At the height of the lockdowns, last like into March, April, we were like 50% shut down. 50% of the economy was still going.
I don't know what state you live in, but in New York you cannot go anywhere. And also,
New York got hit really fucking bad too. New York, I live in a red state. And our cases have skyrocketed. They are not taking it seriously at all. and that's why we're leading the pack in deaths and hospitalization cases and everything. New York is actually taking precautions.
Yeah, but you realize New York, I believe, last I checked, which has been a while, we actually led deaths and cases full. And yet we're the most...
You have a huge population.
You can't go without a face covering. Sorry, what?
You have a huge population. You would have to adjust that per capita.
So if we have a huge population, you don't think per capita would go into deaths and cases? So then why do people say, well,
none of you, if you said deaths per capita, if you're just saying straight up deaths, you're meaning like straight up number of deaths.
Well, at the end of the day, per capita really doesn't mean all that much. It
does. It's how you compare populations that are of a different size.
Also, New York isn't the most populated state.
No, it's not. It's the, second or third?
Yeah. And California is on the uptick where masks are mandated wherever you go, even outdoors.
There's a lot of people, there's a lot of travel in California. There's a lot of people trying to do commerce still. Yeah, bars aren't open all the way, and that's about it.
We're on an uptick. But you're still on.
But guys, you can go to a bar where I'm at. You guys want to go meet them? There's like nothing stopping you from doing anything at the height of this pandemic here in my state. So anyway, I'm bored with the pandemic. Talk about something else. Pick a fight with me on something else. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I was going to say London. Well, not London, but England in general. They have heavy lockdowns, and they're still recording major amounts of deaths.
That's why they went back to lockdowns, because they're recording heavy amounts of deaths. But you understand all this is like lagging, right? Deaths this week are because of positives like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but
positives 2 or 3 weeks ago were because of like events that happened a week and a half before that. So there's like a month lag on everything.
Not a month. 2 to 3 weeks isn't a month. 2 weeks is half a month.
No, I said like there's like a 2 to 3 week lag between being positive and then death, and then there's like another week and a half, like between like the positive and wherever you contracted it. So that's like a month span. So if you died of COVID, you probably contracted it a month and some change before that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
What else is happening?
Yeah, please. Who did you vote for this past election, if you don't mind saying?
I did not vote. I'm not 18.
Interesting. How old are you?
Just turned 16.
Oh, okay, cool. I think 16-year-olds should be allowed to vote. What do you think?
I don't.
You don't?
Because according to Lord and Savior Kamala Harris here, she said the 16-year-olds are extremely stupid.
What? When did she say that? What?
Yeah, Kamala Harris called 16-year-olds stupid, or young adults stupid. Yeah, she wants them to vote, though.
Does she want them to vote? I don't Yes.
Yes,
16
he
Tone says, yeah, everyone is extremely stupid.
Because the younger generation, Gen Z here, loves democratic policies. Absolutely loves AOC.
Well, good. Yeah, AOC is a badass. We're going to talk about AOC here in just a little bit.
I would not call AOC a badass.
She absolutely is. So you need to listen to this show and you need to find out why AOC is a fucking badass. She definitely represents. Okay, one of the things that I would say is the biggest problem facing this country is corporate money in our politics. Would you not agree with that?
No, I agree with that.
Okay, well, why wouldn't you support the policies of politicians like AOC who don't take corporate money? Oh, Scrappy brings up a really good point. This stream is marked 18 plus.
Ooh.
No. Let me explain to you my reasoning why I think you should be allowed to vote. A 16-year-old, do you have a job?
I do not yet.
Oh, okay. Are you looking for a job? Are you in the market for a job?
No, summertime.
Okay. Well, to me, a 16-year-old, if they can go out, if they can earn money, the basic premise of this country is taxation without representation, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if you're making money working your part-time job and you're paying taxes, and bada bing, motherfucker, you need to vote. You get representation.
Okay.
That's the.
But you can get your working papers at 14 and get a job at 14. Should you be allowed to vote at 14?
Yeah, you're making money. You can vote. Love it. Do it.
Okay. So if people don't have a job, then they should not be able to vote. Because
no. I'm just talking about the age limit here. Once you're 18, everybody gets to vote.
Okay.
But we're talking about an age. If you're able to go out and earn some fucking money, and they tax you on that, then you get a vote.
Okay.
We're on Facebook. We're on DLive. We're on. I don't know if there's an 18 warning on all those things. There is an 18 warning on Twitch, though. I'm sorry. The chat was having a time with the whole 18 plus thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see one on your stream title.
Have you ever? I don't care, man. We welcome everybody. Like, just don't narc on me. You ever smoked a cigarette?
No.
You ever drank any alcohol?
Yeah. Regret.
Regret?
It did not end very well.
Oh, what was it, liquor?
Yeah. I did not enjoy my time.
I didn't either. Oh, did it make you sick?
Yeah, very poor. So.
Okay, you ever touch a boob?
Moving. What?
You ever touched a boob? Have you
Come again? I don't get the. Sorry, what?
Have you ever touched a boob?
Oh yeah, I can't hear you. Sorry, I'm scrolling on my phone here trying to find other topics. It says here Biden is moving troops from Pakistan.
What do you want? No, I'm flipping this around. We're doing my thing now. What do you want to be when you grow up, sir?
Lawyer.
You want to be a lawyer? I fucking love it. Awesome. What kind of law do you want to practice? Have you thought about it?
I have not thought about, but in school, I'm currently taking criminal law this semester and personal next semester. So
I'm a big fan of the criminal. Okay, but I was a news reporter, right? So I was a big fan of criminal law because I go sit
news reporter, hippie man.
Oh, I didn't look like this when I was a news reporter, though. I had the short hair, suit and tie.
So go on.
It was great, but no. I really enjoyed the criminal law. So I would encourage you to look towards justice, to being a defense attorney, to fighting for the little guy at all costs.
Yeah, that is not bad. But politics also intrigues me quite a bit because law is a foot in the door of politics too. Obama, Clinton, you name it. pretty much all politics.
Yeah, Scrabby saying you want to be prosecution. You want to be a jackbooted thug. You want to be the man with his boot down our throats.
I would not want to be a corrupt authoritarian politician. That is
a corrupt authoritarian politician. Oh, so we've got some common ground here. So you're pretty anti-government.
I'm not anti-government. I'm just anti-corrupt pieces of shit. Senators and congressmen. I'm corrupt or not. I'm anti that.
But I just brought up AOC. I said she doesn't take corporate money. So why wouldn't you support her?
Yeah, no, because I think she's a fucking idiot.
But she's not. I'm assuming you've never heard her talk if you think that.
No, I've heard her talk. She has straw woman arguments there, to say the least. I mean, dude, come on. We want to ban airplanes because it's bad for the environment.
That's a straw man argument. She never fucking said that.
It's in the Green New Deal. She also
I don't believe it is. Oh, no. I think you're just pulling shit out of your ass now. Because the Green New Deal is only like fucking 2 pages. It's just like an outline of shit that they like want to get to. I don't think there's anything about fucking airplanes in there.
I can agree with all of this. Net zero carbon emissions. We should not emit more carbon emissions than we currently are. But Greta Thunberg, yeah, she's also an idiot.
No, she's not.
Actual zero.
You got a crush on her, don't you?
No carbon emissions.
You're just upset that you can't get a date with Greta Thunberg.
Oh my fucking god. Oh man.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm fucking with you now. Hey dude, it was nice of you to call in. Give us a call back some other time so we can argue a little bit more. Right, I like the way you think. You. Have a great night, man.
Right,
Oh, I cut him off. I'm sorry, bro. Wasn't that sweet? Now see, Biden doing things for the guy that just called in. Doesn't even know he's arguing against his own best interests. Biden's stimulus plan could give parents $300 a month per child. That dude's mom could get some extra cash because of the Biden stimulus plan. Democratic lawmakers are currently working on a plan that could give expanded child tax credit, along with recurring monthly payments to adults with children. A proposed draft of the plan would involve the Internal Revenue Service depositing checks worth $300 every month per child under 6 and $250 every month per child from 6 to 17. I'm certain it doesn't ban airplanes because it's just a fucking outline. I don't know where he got that. Right wingers are constantly just pulling shit out of their ass. I have no clue what they're talking about. I try to keep up with it. Usually I know the shit that they're saying. I've heard their argument before, so I know how to come back on it. Now the airplane one, that was a new one to me. But while the Democrats and Joe Biden are trying to give that caller specifically $250 a month, the GOP is pushing to try to limit the $1,400 promised check, which other Democratic lawmakers are still pushing for the $2,000 stimulus check. Some GOP lawmakers are wanting to reserve it only for people who have received the COVID-19 vaccine. I think that's kind of stupid. I think you give it to everybody. You don't do any kind of means testing. I find nothing wrong with incentivizing the vaccine though. Throw another little extra cherry on top of it to go get the vaccine. Because you've got some people who may not be able to even access the vaccine. You're wanting to tie this emergency money to keep people afloat to a vaccine we don't even know if they'll have access to. Let me tell you, man, I went to a vegetarian restaurant one time. And I had some fried tofu with like this peanut butter sauce. It was the shit. Holy fuck, it was so good. Like a side of mashed potatoes. And I think I had a grilled cheese sandwich with it. It was in Asheville, North Carolina. God, I can't remember the name of the restaurant. I'm not vegetarian, and after this, I'm probably gonna get off here. Pull out the cast iron skillet and make a fat, juicy hamburger. I think that's on the menu for me tonight. But I wouldn't knock vegetarian food. Vegetarian food done well is excellent. Why is it called Asheville? I assume somebody named Ash. I'm not exactly sure. So I kind of had a little crush on Jen Psaki.
Go ahead, Mike, share.
Okay,
Who,
see? You can't call her.
Oh, God.
I just gave you...
I can't... It's playing on the wrong monitor. I've instituted a new way of doing some of my videos in an effort to cut down on ads, and it did not play on the right monitor. But I have a crush on the new White House press secretary, Jen Psaki. Oh no. I fucked everything up. I don't know. I don't watch CNN. I have no clue about smearing Bernie. Fuck her if she smeared Bernie, though. I'd never heard of her until like 2 days ago, man. I don't watch, I totally believe you. It makes total sense why she would have the job then. Totally, I'm with you, fuck her. I can still have a crush on her, though. Now, come on. You can't let politics get in the way of your romance. No. That's not cool that she did that. But no, I don't watch any kind of cable news or anything like that. When I'm showing you guys shit on the stream, I'm like watching it for the first time. Also, I can't turn the volume back on. I fucked my shit up. It's not letting me turn it back on. OBS is wigged out on me. Yeah, I read the news and articles and shit. I listen to news podcasts. Well, this sucks. I won't be able to play any videos anymore. Every other thing works, but it won't let me turn the volume back on. Weird. I can't unmute. I fucked my whole show up so we can sign language. I mean, we do have the sign language down there at the bottom. The only thing is I don't know any sign language. I do actually have a whole stand-up routine about deaf people, and I did actually learn to sign like one of the punchlines, and that is the extent of my sign language knowledge, and I can't even do that anymore. She might. She looks like she'd be a Bernie bro. Why is it that every single sign language interpreter looks like they're cool as shit? Is it just they were all theater kids and that's my people and I'm drawn to them? With the mask isn't doing it right. Oh, goddamn. Alan, do not talk about the reporter from whatever news outlet. Oh, he's talking about me. He's my friend. He is not actually my friend. He is my friend on Facebook. He and I have a little feud going on. He's a friend of a friend, and I have no clue how my friend is friends with him. You guys are welcome to fuck with him if he's still in here. He's probably going to hit and run.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Nothing is working right at all. I fucked OBS up. So what you guys want to do? I'm going to smoke a bowl. We were going to watch Bernie talk about his men. If you want to call in, I can take calls. 917-830-4359. Hop in the Discord. We can do that. I think. I don't know. Oh, he'll give you some incredibly bad takes, dude. Oh my God. He'll give you some of the worst takes. But I guess we'll go ahead and call it a night. Even though I was going to do the rest of the show. I had a whole show planned. I'll pick you guys on Twitch. I'll pick you somebody fun to go to. SJW 9000 is a good friend. I always enjoy going to his room. It happened on a Friday. Let me go ahead. I'm going to pack a little marijuana in here. I'm going to have a bong rip with you guys. Oh, do you not want to go to SJW 9000? Do you want to go to Feminist Critique? I try to always hit the smaller channels that have the least amount of people. Oh, talking about his bad takes. Oh, okay. I was like, SJW 9000 is pretty cool. Like, I'm going to come in there with you. I'll fuck around. So go ahead, light one up, dip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin FREAKIN. We will see you Monday night on the Troll Patrol. Live.